20 seconds and counting. The ground umbilical to the third stage has been disconnected. And there's the second umbilical tower now separating. We're 10 seconds from launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See the engines igniting there. And liftoff of Soyuz MS-09 carrying Serena Auñón-Chancellor, Sergey Prokopyev, and Alexander Gerst to the International Space Station for a 6-month stay to
everything is normal.
Complete research on board the space station.
20 seconds.
Good
nominal.
of us here on the Earth as well as in space.
We're fine. Seconds.
Beautiful.
Everything is nominal.
Still getting good views of the Soyuz as it pulls away from the launch pad in Baikonur.
Everything's
and launch
stable.
took place at 6:12 a.m. Central Time, right on schedule. Everything going according to plan so far as the Soyuz delivers 930,000 pounds of thrust from its four boosters and single engine. The first stage of the Soyuz measures 68 feet in length and 24 feet in diameter, burning liquid fuel for the first 2 minutes and 6 seconds of flight.
Roll. Everything's nominal. Systems are nominal. Crew are good.
Still getting great views of the Soyuz. Now 1 minute and 45 seconds into today's flight. One minute and 56 seconds. The escape tower is jettisoned to this point.
And right at the end of the video there, you could see those strap-on boosters, that first stage coming away and tumbling away from the vehicle. Absolutely beautiful.
They drop away at an altitude of 28 statute miles. Soyuz traveling now at about 3,300 miles per hour. Great view of the crew inside the cabin. You can see Alexander Gerst at the top of the screen, and Sergey Prokopyev at the bottom. Okay, 8 minutes and 52 seconds now into the flight. Third stage cutoff has occurred, and there is a separation. That's the single liquid-fueled engine now shut down and dropped away at an altitude of 126 statute miles. It's performing an avoidance maneuver by opening a valve in its liquid oxygen tank.
Dima is here.
That was awesome.
Confirmation now that everything deployed as expected with the antennas and solar arrays. We saw the spacecraft separate and the capsule and crew now safely in orbit. Soyuz orbiting an altitude of 143 miles by 118 miles, and that orbit will be raised systematically over the course of the next 2 days to get it into place to rendezvous with the International Space Station. So that
Kirk Shireman, the ISS Program Manager. Kirk, thunderous send-off for this multinational crew. Your thoughts as you saw the Soyuz go skyward to the International Space Station?
Well, every Soyuz launch is just fantastic. It's beautiful, it's exciting, and this was no exception. Beautiful day here in Baikonur, a little bit warm, but a beautiful day, and it was great to see the crew on that perfect launch today.
You know, this week, a landing of 3 crew members in Kazakhstan. Rollout the next day of the Soyuz vehicle. The launch today, smooth as silk, a testimony to the international partnership.
Absolutely. You know, it's great. We had an American, a Russian, a Japanese astronaut land here a few days ago. Today it was a German, American, and a Russian cosmonaut launched today. It's just a fantastic time to be part of the International Space Station. Really is an international endeavor. So far to date, over 103 countries worldwide have been involved in the International Space Station in one form or another. And so it's just great to be part of this program.
What are your thoughts about the complexity that lies ahead over the next 6.5 months? 2 first-time flyers, Alexander Gerst on his 2nd mission now, joining an experienced crew. Your thoughts about the pace of activity, the volume, and the variety of activity that lies ahead?
Sure, there'll be a tremendous amount of activity going on. In fact, as soon as they arrive, we have a spacewalk here coming up in a little over a week. And so that'll be a first U.S. spacewalk. We actually have 4 spacewalks total. We have 1 Russian and 3 American spacewalks while this crew will be on orbit. We have 6 visiting vehicles arriving to the International Space Station. In addition, there's over 237 investigations, 81 of which have never been performed before. So a really full program for these guys to conduct on orbit, and it starts as soon as they arrive.
In November, this space station will celebrate its 20th birthday since the first Element launch. I asked you this the last time back in March, I'll ask you again. Could you have imagined 2 decades ago that this complex would have grown and matured and now produced the kind of world-class science as well as technological testbed capability that it is today?
Yeah, there's just absolutely no way. I actually had the privilege of being here in Baikonur 20 years ago, or approximately 20 years ago when it all began, and to be here today and be part of this is just amazing. Certainly I didn't imagine what it would be like. I think we collectively have produced this amazing vehicle, and the amazing work that's been done and will continue to be done on ISS is just not a tribute to all the people who've been part of this.
So, Jan Woerner, you are the Director General of ESA.
Yes.
What does it mean for you to have another astronaut in space?
You see, maybe people cannot understand that, but I'm in an age where I could be the father of Alexander Gerst. And therefore it is like a father feeling, sending his son into space, and this is something very special. And then see this crew with the American Serena and the Russian Sergey, this is really something. So I really feel very, very happy and a little bit relaxed right now.
And this is this internal cooperation we want to pursue.
You see, we have enough problems on Earth, and I'm always upset about the problems on Earth already, but here we can work together. We can bridge earthly borders and earthly crises, and this is so nice. It always gives me really a very special feeling in my body when I see how good one can cooperate if one wants to do it.
And we can go beyond ISS, you think?
Of course we will do beyond, but right now we are considering, first of all, the flight of Alexander Gerst and his crewmates. We will then look into the next flights with European astronauts in the next years. And then at a certain point in time, we are looking also in future dimensions, going beyond low Earth orbit, but also staying in low Earth orbit for microgravity research. So there is a good way in front of us.
Okay, thank you. Jon Huntsman, the U.S. Ambassador to Russia, here in Baikonur for today's launch. Sir, pretty thrilling. Every launch is thrilling. You don't get an opportunity to see these very often. Your thoughts emotionally as you saw this crew, this multinational crew, go skyward?
Very few things in life even come close to the thrill and exhilaration and the pure emotion of watching this feat of ingenuity and diplomacy. 3 countries coming together, launch from the Earth into space. It is absolutely incredible. I didn't want to cry in front of the group, but I came pretty darn close.
It's amazing, the whole pace of activity where 3 crew members came back from the space station on Sunday, and just a few days later, another trio is headed for the space station. What does that say in terms of the whole global partnership that puts this amazing effort together?
There's an excellent rhythm. that keeps people in space, and it's supported by not just the over 100 countries that have contributed, but you look at the 3 nations that just launched and the thousands on the ground in each nation who play into making this feat possible. So not only is there an economic dimension, a scientific dimension, technical, political, but there's a peace dimension. We're reflecting on problem solving. We're not reflecting on trouble. We're not reflecting on disagreements. This is about coming together and solving problems for a common purpose, exploring new frontiers, developing technology, and bringing it back home to our populations to better human life. That's a pretty unbelievable thing.
And yesterday, the crew at its final news conference talked about the other benefit of all this, that being inspiration to the youth.
Yes.
What can they derive from watching a technological feat like this?
They dream. In America, we're a nation of dreamers. And I think every nation, regardless of your geography or your ideology, has young people who are dreamers. They want to break boundaries, they want to think big, and there is nothing bigger and bolder and more aspirational than flying into space. And for the young men and women out there, regardless of where you are on this earth, that inspires. And in order to inspire, you got to do what we just saw happen. And it's just great. And I think in terms of the next generation always, and how each step that is taken and every launch that is made and every picture that is transmitted to the school classrooms and the newspapers and television is a source of inspiration for young people.
So David Parker, you're the Director of Human Spaceflight and Robotic Exploration at ESA. It's always impressive, this type of launch.
It's been a fantastic day. You feel the launch in your body, in your heart, because it's 3 human beings on top of a rocket, and Alex Gerst going into space for the 2nd time, no longer a rookie, this time to take command of the space station. So it's a very exciting day.
We will continue working in ISS, but we will go beyond and in the different perspective, maybe?
Well, you're right that we've got a lot of perspectives for the future. So a lot of the work that Alex is going to be doing on the space station is to help us prepare for those steps further into the solar system, maybe going towards the moon with a station around the moon, a gateway to exploration of the solar system. So that what we learn today aboard the space station will help us go further into the solar system for the future. And that's our vision for exploration in Europe.
Thank you. Bill Gerstenmaier, NASA's Associate Administrator for Human Exploration. Bill, what a week for launch, human operations, landing, launch, setting the stage for non-stop activity. Your thoughts as you saw this multinational crew lift off today?
Again, as you described, just an amazing week with the landing on Sunday and then to get to see the launch today. Just a tremendous focus by the team to stay on track and keep processing the vehicle. Again, you know, it looks easy when you see the launch, but I know from talking to the technicians, meeting with the people here in Baikonur, that it's not easy getting this rocket ready to go. And each time there's a little nuance, a little thing that's a little bit different, but the team is really good. They're really focused. They did a great job. And what we got to see today was just a great chance to see a great crew go to space.
Usually a crew arrives on the station, gets a breather for a day or so. No breather for this crew. They're right into spacewalk preparations, cargo vehicles coming. What a pace.
Yeah, it's really an exciting time on board station. You know, it's kind of nice in the fact that landing is this close to launch because we will be back up to 6 crew right away, get into this pace you described, get ready to go do the EVA. The crew's been preparing for that on orbit. I know they've been getting some of the cameras ready. They've been going over procedures. They're doing all the right things to be ahead of the game. We've got SpaceX processing. I know all the payloads are safely in the trunk of Dragon, ready to go fly. So again, I think on the outside, you see maybe these launch events, they occur, but you don't fully appreciate how much work goes behind the scenes to make these really complicated things look easy, and they are not easy. It's also special here to see the launch and to feel the launch. You can understand the rocket going to space, but when you feel it and you can feel your body shake as the launch occurs, it's a different sensation than you can get anyplace else. So we're tremendously privileged to be here, to be able to witness this launch, to see this crew. This is a great time on space station. There'll be more research, new investigations we've never done before. Just an awesome time to be in space.
This crew will be joined by 2 additional crew members in October. Those 5 will be on board when the space station celebrates its 20th birthday. A single module grown into what it is today. Amazing, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing when I think 20 years. I can't believe it's been that long. I mean, I remember all the difficulties, all the negotiations, all the discussions, all the redesign of components, and then to see this thing actually be in space for that long and for 20 years is just amazing. You know, we're going to have to think about this fall and see if there's something special we can do to maybe share what this international team has done. And this is special. This is something that I don't think may never ever happen again, or maybe we'll build off of this to even more international involvement in the future. But maybe we should take a chance this fall in the November timeframe and figure out a way to get together internationally and really celebrate this achievement and let the world know what this amazing team has accomplished.